Gurve Gaurachandra Radhikata Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Prabhupada Shri Nandanandanam Bande Radhika Chandram Kavita Samayutam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, from Vishnu Bhakti and his sons, Bhakti Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Also, especially, Lotus feet of our Param Gurudev, Nichidila Brishi Bhakti Prajnana, Kesava Gosvami Maharaj. So today is his disappearance festival. So a little bit last night we were talking, what is disappearance? Who else can live tonight, Sarat Purnima, just the time when Krishna, Kalo, Bhava Krishna Manohara, playing his Kam Gayatri on his flute. Kasham Beno Swaner Gopi Gopinath Tashriyas. Then Gopinath called all Braja Gopis. That time that flute sound very wonderfully not entered in the ears of those in Vatsalya, Sakya or Dasiras, but only in the ears of the Braja Gopis. Then Guru would say that flute sound went in their hearts, stole everything and returned back to their messenger, Krishna. Then all Gopis realized, we have no heart that has been stolen. So they ran to Vamsivat to claim back their life. So that time, Param Guruji in Navadvip, and he left that world, left the world at that very time. One time Pujapad Vikram Maharaj was telling us this pastime. And we asked, and where were you that time? And he started to cry. I was taking bath. He said, I'm so unfortunate. Anyway. So, beautiful disappearance, wonderful. That time the deity, the garland of the deity broke. Means Radharani's garland, means Radharani accepting her Saki comeback. So we have heard from all Vaishnavas that is Vinod Manjana. Always giving happiness to the divine couple, Radha Krishna. And for the benefit of the jivas in this world, that Gaurangera Sangya Jana Nityasida Korima, who accepts that the devotees of Gauranga are Nityasida, Tadavai Bhajendra Sutapas. That person goes to Krishna. So the associates of Radha Krishna have come in the form of the associates of Gaurahari for Prem Ras Nijas Koritya Swadan Rag Mag Bhakti Lok Koritya Bhajan. They also come to taste Prem Ras and also to teach this, especially Rag Bhakti, in the mood of the Brijavasis. So, what can we say about his life from beginning to end is Atimatya Charitra, astonishing. Especially his early life also. Gurudev says, like, when flower is small, you can understand what it will become in small size. So from very young age, he had all these qualities of complete fearlessness, dedication to truth, and so much compassion regarding the suffering of others. Especially Gurudev would tell the story of Gurudev, part of Gurudev's own mother. She was very strict, very strict. It said even if her own husband was outside eating something, she would lock the door and not let him in. So you can imagine how strict, So he was born in Bangladesh. Now, that time India was one, now it became 3 or 4. So he was born in very high class Kshatriya landholder family, Thakur. So his mother sent him to school. Then one day he came home very late. Then mother was very angry. And with stick in her hand, she was waiting when he would come. And Gurudev would tell this Katha every year, and every year he would weep. not this one again. So when he came very late, then his mother grabbed him with a stick. What have you been doing? Moving with other low-class boys in the street? Speak. But he kept silent. Gurudev would often say, one who glorifies himself drinks only poison. Gurudev was very funny. Anyway, I'll tell that later. So, one who glorifies himself drinks only poison. So Padam Gurudev remained silent. What you're doing, he did not say. But mother, again and again, speak, tell me. And he said, Mother, in our school we made one club. And all boys donate their lunch money. And then we buy medicines and food for the poor persons. Then there was one old lady, a widow. Her husband had died. No one to take care of her, so I was alone. She had cholera. So I was alone, cleaning her, like arranging doctor medicine. That is why I was late. So when she heard that, the stick fell from her hand, and she began to weep and embraced him. And she said, oh, Vinod, I promise I will never chastise you again the whole life. So from the beginning he had this quality of compassion towards others. So that later manifested in his preaching movement. So his auntie, Sarojini, and his aunt were both disciples of Prabhupada, the first ladies. So they went for Navadvip Parikrama, and Vinod went at that time, he was 16. Then he joined all the Parikrama. That time, I think Saraswati Thakur had just taken sannyas, maybe 1916, I think, or sometime like that. So Prabhupada was saying, we'll do parikrama of the globe. He said, I will open Gaudiya Mats in Paris, London, New York. I will do Rath Yatra all over the world, he said. Then Sarojini Devi said, Prabhupada, you are like a beggar. You know, a beggar, he sleeps and he dreams. This is my Rolls Royce. This is my third house. Who will do all that? Now you don't even have a brahmachari to ring the bell in arati. Who will do this world parikrama? Who will manage all these mats? And Prabhupada pointed, Vinod will do everything. Right? At that time he was not even initiated. So he took Harinam at that time. But Prabhupada still was not giving Diksha mantras to anyone. In fact, Sarojini Devi asked, Prabhupada, you are not giving Diksha mantras to anyone, to ladies? What, ladies are not human? Ladies cannot do bhajan? She was asking like that. Prabhupada is on mood of humility. We cannot imagine what he was thinking. So he was not giving Guru mantra. That time Vinod Brahmachari asked, Prabhupada, without Guru mantra we cannot properly do any worship of Thakurji. Because Krishna says, Prakashamanti Gurum Puja Tatas Chaivavamanchana. Before you worship me, you have to worship Gurudev. If I don't have Guru Mantra, how can I worship Bhagavan? Then Prabhupada was silent. Then Vinod said, Prabhupada, that means I have to go to another Guru for the Guru Mantra. Then Prabhupada laughed. It made him laugh. So he gave Guru Mantra first to Vinod Brahmachari. So he was the first disciple of Saraswati Thakur. It is true, others had come before him, but he was the first to receive Guru Mantra, that means initiation. So he had so much intimacy with Prabhupada, so much intimacy. Many people live here, they take initiation but no relation with Guru, no relation any Vaishnava, never talking any Vaishnava, never doing any seva. Many, even in this temple we see many like that. But Param Gurudev was not like that. So intimate, so close. He would only sleep in the same room as Prabhupada. Imagine. Then even he would come late at night, 12 midnight. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. He would knock on the door. Prabhupada would get up and let him in. Other disciples would criticize, why are you waking Gurudev at that time? Prabhupada never said anything. So Prabhupada, before the Gaudiyas, they would, actually all Vaishnavas, not just Gaudiyas, they would preach to the kings. You read the life of Ramanujacharyas, big kings became his disciples. Madhvacharya also. But Prabhupada, Saraswati Thakur, he sent his brahmacharis with a little donation box. And the hole was so small, like 20 pies cannot go in. Only 1 pie, 5 pies, like that. And he would send the brahmacharis to the bus stations, to the train stations, to the marketplaces. And he said, there your Hari Kirtan will be tested. Because when you collect, people ask, who are you, what are you, we are Gaudiya Math, what's Gaudiya Math? Who's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Naturally, we are following Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna is very good. Naturally, all this type of question will come, no, when you preach outside. So Prabhupada preached like that through these young boys. He would give them saffron cloth in young age. And he would send them like that, preaching. So each brahmachari had a small box. Then one day Prabhupada was very revolutionary in many ways. Sannyasi should not wear stitch cloth, but he would wear. Because if you walk around with just dhoti gamsha, no one will, maybe educated persons, wealthy persons may not take you seriously. So how to approach the materialistic class, how to become a bit like them. So Prabhupada would wear shoes before sannyasi, cannot wear shoes, cannot wear stitch cloth, cannot cross the ocean, cannot travel in any vehicle. But Prabhupada used all these things. He showed the utmost limit of yukta vairagya. Anasakta visayam yataha upayujate nirbandha Krishna sambandha yukta vairagya uchate. Rupa Gosvami said. To see everything in relation to Krishna and you utilize everything for Krishna's service, that is yukta vairagya, appropriate renunciation. So Prabhupada would use the motor cars, the money, the printing press, build huge. Vinod was taking rest under one banyan tree, tired, and he had his box under his head like a pillow. And Prabhupada went past in the motor car and he saw. Then Prabhupada began to weep. Imagine. Well, Vinod comes from such aristocratic family. And for the seva of Bhagavan, look how he is living. And how we are living compared to this. We are very shameful fellows. Everything should be first class. No pumpkin subject for me, thank you. It should be paneer. Nice rooms, all nice facility we have. And nice facility is not given, chalo, I'm going back to ISKCON or something like that. Gurudev would always say, we are not doing Guru Seva, we're doing Atmavat Seva. What I like, I'm doing that. What I like, I do that and give that to Bhagavan. But what Guru and Vaishnava want, that thing we are not doing. So Vinod was not like that. So from the beginning he would do it. So Prabhupada made him the manager of Gaudiya Math. Now we see Mayapur, these extensive lands, this all bought by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He gave them to Prabhupada and Prabhupada gave them to Vinod. So many wonderful stories are there. Some are really amazing. How he would control everyone. Because to control Bengali is not a very easy thing. Like we know some Bengalis, no one can control them. Only Bengali can control Bengali. Like only diamond can cut diamond. So Paragurudev would manage all these unruly personalities in Mayapur. He would dress with silk cloth, silk dhoti, some like cowboy hat, and ride big horse. He would move here and there. Then people, some would criticize. What is this? This is not brahmachari, this is not vairagya. But Prabhupada would defend his Guru Seva in all circumstances. Actually, he was like a king of Mayapur. When he would get the boat is 10 paisa, 1 paisa something. Vinod would give 5 rupees, 10 or 20, 30 times the price. Then people would complain to Prabhupada. Prabhupada would laugh, oh, he's like a king, wealthy family, for him money is like dirt, so he's like that. Then many people not understand the humility of Vaishnava. Unless you behave like that, how people follow your instructions, no? The materialistic persons, how will respect you. If you come to them as Trinado piece and inch, they will not understand. So this is real Trinado. What necessary for Guru Seva, I become that. So many wonderful stories, no? Actually, that time, the Samadhi of Gokashudas Babaji Maharaj was the other side of the Ganga. And the man who offered the land for the Samadhi, afterwards he became against. Very often we see that. People come to one temple, one Guru, then they do aparad, they become against, opposed. So, Prabhupada was in very much anxiety. The Samadhi of my Guru is now in the hands of the anti-party. So Vinod said, don't worry Prabhupada, I will take care. So he collected many criminals. Especially in Bengal. I don't want to criticize Bengal as well. There's many criminal elements. So okay, I'll give you some money, you come with me. So like 30 or 40 criminals he collected together, and they went the other side of the Ganga. All had different weapons, sticks, knives. And he said, when I dig up the Samadhi, you should make a circle around of criminals, otherwise you will not be able to do it. Then they removed the Samadhi and took to Mayapur on the side. He said when Prabhupada saw the Samadhi, then Prabhupada becomes so much in transcendental emotions. And then again they gave Samadhi in Mayapur. So this, we see the Samadhi of Gokashudas Babaji Maharaj. Okay. Try not to sleep in class. We should do Sankalpa, I will not sleep in class. So that Samadhi of Param Gurudev, of Gokashudas Babaji Maharaj, are done by Vinod Brahmacharya. Also the bhajan, the place of bhajan of Bhakti Vinod Thakur in Godrum, that had been captured by the followers of Lalit Prasad. Lalit Prasad was one of the sons of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Saraswati Thakur said, my brother is the greatest enemy of the Sankirtan movement. Prabhupada spoke like that against his own brother. Because so much he went to the Babaji section after. He also wrote one autobiography of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Swalika Jivani. Guru Maharaj said we never accept that biography of Lalit Prasad. There it says Bhakti Vinod Thakur, 8 means and all these things. Guru Maharaj said we never accept that. Son. Bhakti Vinod Thakur spoke and apparently he wrote, but we not accept that. So this place of bhajan had been captured by Lalit Prasad, and Prabhupada was also in anxiety. Then Param said, don't worry Prabhupada, I'll take care of that one as well. He collected the Gundas, again they went the other side. But they not beat anyone, but they just staged a fight outside the front gate. Each Gunda beating each other's stick like this. Where's Lalit Prasad? Let's bring him, thrash him, beat him. But they didn't beat anyone, just making some drama. Then Gurudev said the brahmacharis who were there, they jumped over the back wall and ran. And Param Gurudev captured that place. These places we go today, how possible mercy of Param Gurudev. Also this Chandrasekhar Bhavan, there before was one big graveyard, a Muslim graveyard. So Param Gurudev, this is very improper. No? Chandrasekhar Bhavan is Braj Patan, hidden Braj, it's called Braj Patan. Yeah. Mahaprabhu did many, many pastimes in that place. Where Mahaprabhu danced in the mood of Lakshmi. Mahaprabhu danced in the mood of Gadadhar Pandit, danced in the mood of Rukmini there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came out and also, even Mother Sachi could not recognize, this is my son. This whole Mahaprabhu's drama there. So this whole pastime with him, Param Gurudev felt very pain. This is a Muslim graveyard. So he built a boundary wall over the graveyard. That all Muslims became disturbed. What you're doing? To protect your graveyard, I'm building. That same big boundary wall we see as you go past towards ISKCON, that was built by Param Gurudev, that wall. Then all Muslims asking, what doing? Oh no, to protect the sanctity of a graveyard. Oh, they became very happy, very good. Then he was growing many, many trees, many, many plants, many, many flowers, hundreds and hundreds. Then people would ask Vinod, why you're growing so many trees and plants? But he kept silent. He did not tell anyone what his plan was. Then middle of the night, he called many Vaishnavas. What did they do? Allah Akbar. All the bones and headstones, they threw trees. He built some bhajan kutirs in one night, they did. The morning the Muslims came, what's going on? Where's Uncle Muhammad gone? Gone? That time they went to the British and complained. The British came, then this was a graveyard, and Prime British said, the ridiculous things they are speaking. How old these trees are? How could these trees have come up overnight? Then the British were bewildered. Yes, it's true. So they threw the Muslims away. So this type is Guru Seva. Atimatya, extraordinary Guru Seva. I'll tell one pastime. This was told to me by one devotee in Alanshore. He used to go to the Gurukul. So every morning one rickshaw driver would pick up all the boys and take them to Gurukul. And this rickshaw driver was a huge gunda before, in young age. And he had a huge scar across his neck and up to his ear. And that Muslim would tell all the boys, Vinod Da gave this to me. Because they attacked him and maybe 20 Muslim criminals attacked them up. You know, imagine 20 Muslims running here, what would we do? Huh? Shamala? We'd run and leave Shamala downstairs. So everyone is running for their life, but Vinod Brahmachari is so fearless. With a knife, he went straight for the leader and cut his throat. Imagine. Didn't kill him. How could he kill him if he's driving a rickshaw 30 years later? So this much he was brave, this much courageous. What would we do? It's Armageddon out of here. So this type of Guru, many wonderful things he did. Of course, these are not his main glories. But Guru Maharaj would often talk about this thing. What Guru wants, we have to become that. Our problem is we are not willing to give up our own nature, our own attitudes, our own, I will do this. This is proper because I learned it 40 years ago. Okay, 40 years ago that was one thing, but now you've come in this Sangha, you have to adjust according to the mood of the Vaishnava here. But very hard to give up nature. Says Damana Maharaj, who never gave up any nature, but anyway. Guru Maharaj gave the example of Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit is Radhika. Radharani means Bhamyabha, always opposite nature. But in Gaur Lila that will not work. Because Gauranga Lila is a different Lila, Acharya Lila. So Gadadhar Pandit gave up that Bhamyabha, how much he became submissive to Gauranga.
Well, then you can do it.
No? Yes, we should all try. So Gadadhar Pandit, Radhika herself, how to please Krishna according to circumstance, he gave example. So Gurudev would say, no, like the pot, the clay has no resistance. What the potter wants, clay becomes that. So Gurudev says, so we have to give up our own desires, give up our own, oh, this is good, I will do this whole thing we have to, and what Vaishnava wants, we have to become that. Maharaj is a great example. How much he tolerated. You see your own eyes, how much he tolerated. Otherwise, how he became like that? No one born like that. This is made like that. So anyway, Param Gurudev like that. What necessary at that time, what seva, he become that. When necessary, Kshatriya mood, become that. To fight, beat, all these things. And when necessary also so much philosophy. That he wrote this Vinod Vihari Tapastikam, beautiful thing. If you read, then very easily you can understand how Gauranga is the combined form of Radha Krishna. In a very sweet way he described this. Maharaj said last night, very sweet thing. 2 ways we go to Radharani Seva. One is through Radhika, one is through Krishna, who is always inclined to Radhika. But both is same. And he gave the example, we pray, oh Krishna, Gokul Chanda, your mouth always smiling, always happy. Take me to where you're doing pastimes with Radhika so I can do the same. So going to Radhika's seva through Krishna or directly through Radhika. So Param Gurudev very nicely described all this. Gauranga seva means what? Radha Krishna seva. So he wrote that Radha Vinod Bihari Tapastika. That time he stayed in Allahabad. 6 months he stayed there with Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. 6 months. They were very intimate friends. Then how clever he was. There was one bishop, Archbishop of Allahabad. That's a strange birth, isn't it? Then he was some Param Gurudev would say, Param Gurudev not using Shastra so much. One word, one line, like that. But mostly he using so much logic and argument. This is Shastra Yukti. And that is one definition of Mahabharata. What Shastra really means, Kanishadikari cannot understand. Madhyamadikari also cannot fully understand. Like Gurudev says something, Vaishnava says something, Shastra says something. What is the real meaning? That only Shastra Yukti Susupon Drinda Bhagavan, Drinda Shravana. That is definition of Mahabharata. Unflinching faith. And Shastra Yukti Sunupun, very expert in Shastra Yukti. Logic and argument in the line of Shastra. So Gurudev would always say, Param Gurudev mostly preaching from 11th canto. Gurudev told me, I asked him once, most of your Gurudev Katha, what? And he said, mostly my Gurudev always preached from 11th canto. Because Srila Gosvami would say, if you hear 10th canto but do not hear 11th canto, you will fall down. Because 11th canto is all Krishna's own mouth speaking all Tattva Siddhanta. 11th canto is the forehead of Bhagavan, forehead of Krishna, the brain of Krishna, the philosophy of Krishna. So Param Gurudev so much used logic, and especially to cut Mayavad. If you read his arguments against Mayavad, really you become stunned. How clever he was. So one time, one bishop asked, why you worship black? Why you worship black? Krishna. And Param Gurudev answered, black means nirgun. Nirgun means black is not a color. The complete absence of color, that is black. Like you put white light through the prism, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, purple. So the complete absence of any color, that is black. Nirgun. Therefore we worship the Nirgun Brahma. That is Harihi Nirguna Shakshat Purusha Prakriti. Who is Krishna, the Nirgun Purush? No touch of Sattvagun, Rajagun or Tamagun in him. And also anything black, you touch it to it, that thing becomes black also. Like you have some cloth, you put in black paint, it becomes black. So anything you offer to Krishna also becomes Nirgun. Like Prasad, rice, dal, sabji, we offer to Bhagavan, becomes Nirgun, because offered to Krishna. And the bishop is, why you worship white? White means Radhika, white means Gaurahari. And when Guru Maharaj said, without even thinking, white means the complete collection, the conglomerate of all color, that is white. Therefore we worship Sadgun Brahma, who is the sum total of all transcendental qualities. Imagine. Then the bishop became a little disturbed. Why you worship a cowherd boy? Then Param Gurudev said, if you worship a shepherd, why can't we worship a cowherd boy? Then he remained quiet. So he was very expert in all type of affairs, management, especially court cases. Param Gurudev would say, I bless you. I'll just tell one story. Please forgive me. I'll just tell one story. This was told by Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj, I read. That some followers of Prabhupada, after his disappearance, had deviated. That was Bhag Bazar Gaudiya. That was, the acharya of that was his own brother, Older Lovely Maharaj. Param Gurudev never took a vow never to speak to his own brother whole life because he went against the teachings of Prabhupada. Imagine. So he made a court case against that because The Bhagavad Gaudiya Math had been taken by old Alomni Maharaj. Then Prabhupada made a court case against him. How can you do that when you're not following Prabhupada? Because they made a new philosophy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Can only chant in japa. You cannot do loud sankirtan of Mahamantra. But in this Chaitanya Astika, it's Ucheswa, very clearly it says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would chant loudly. Also brahmacharis would wear sannyas cloth. Sometimes we still see now, even in Krishna Balaram, people not took sannyas but not wearing dhoti. Don't mention any names. If you're not sannyasi, why wearing sannyas cloth? It's a deception, cheating. Don't do like this. Like Maharaj, I saw even brahmachari, white cloth. Whole life I never saw him wearing one gamcha, white gamcha. Always dhoti, proper dhoti. So all brahmacharis wearing like sannyas cloth and doing these things. And some other things with them.
And white is not saffron, like giving up saffron.
Giving up saffron, yes, maybe that is taking Babaji Vesh, yes. Not wearing sannyas, not wearing saffron cloth. So Prabhupada made a court case against them. And they realized, if you're not following Prabhupada, how can you take Prabhupada's property? So they realized they will lose the court case. So the day the judge will give the judgment, all Bhagavad Gaudiya Math came, all brahmacharis wearing red cloth and the dhoti. And loudly, Hare Krishna, all chanting very loudly in public. Then the judge gave the judgment, look, they are following. So he awarded the court case to the opposition party. But Bhakti Pragyan Kesava Maharaj was very happy. Then Bhakti Pragyan Bharati Maharaj asked, Maharaj, why are you happy? We spent so many months on all this and we lost. And Paramguru said, my goal was not to win some court case. My goal was to make them follow Prabhupada. So now they're following Prabhupada, we won. So this was his mood, so magnanimous, so strict, hard like a thunderbolt, and soft like a rose. So we offer pranams to Bhakti Pragyan Kesava Goswami Maharaj. He is lion, and we are also his children, grandchildren. So we are praying some of his lion-like qualities, we should also become a bit like that. So Bhakti Pragyan Kesava Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Evening time, all prepare, ready.
Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnu Paraya Gauraplasthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Prajnana Kesava Vanchakapatra Vyasya Dipasindhu Vyevacha Patita Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Madhavandandavats Pranams Santu Dolores Mahari Masters Nikhil Vaishkam Vishnu Padastar Sata Srimad Bhakti Pranadhanaya Goswami Maharaj Sri Gurudev Om Vishnu Padastar Sata Srimad Krishna Vidika Dharani Om Vishnu Padastar Sri Bhakti Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj Param Gurudev Nikhil Vaishkam Vishnu Padastar Sri Bhakti Prajnana Kesava Goswami Maharaj, whose days we are glorifying, and all the Param Guru Varga Vaishnavas Vaishnavas. So we heard already some beautiful activities of Param Gurudev in this world. He was such an example. I remember when I came to Srila Gurudev in 1999, I had no idea about Param Gurudev, about Gaudiya Math actually. So I met Gurudev in Holland, and then he invited me to come for Kartik. And just at that Kartik, he came with the book of life history of Param Gurudev, his Gurudev. So it was the first time I read about Param Gurudev, and I was really so amazed to read what a personality he was. I never heard of him, and then you read all his activities. I became so even proud to have a grandfather like that. You know, he's such a Guru Nista. So we heard from childhood up to his whole life is such an example. So I remember, what Maharaj was saying whenever it was Param Gurudev's appearance or disappearance, Srila Gurudev, he was completely so emotional. He could not even speak the name of his Guru. So he was so emotional. So this is such an example of Guru Nista, what it means to be a disciple. So we heard how he was serving his Gurudev. I read in the book that even he was at the time of his final exams of school, but when he met Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, he left everything. Even at the time of exams, he said, this is a waste of time. I want to stay with my Gurudev in the mud. So he went to the mud, and there he became the manager of the mud. So he was so qualified. But he was in white cloth because he was in white cloth because he could have been sannyas already, but many of our God brothers said don't give him sannyas because he will get another function. Who will manage the temple? So it was when Bhakti Rakshak Goswami Maharaj came to the temple first time in the mud. He saw this young boy sitting on a couch with his feet on a table or something, and he saw even sannyasis giving pranam to this young boy. So he was wondering, who is this young boy? And they said, oh, this is Vinod Brahmachari. He is so close to Gurudev Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is managing everything. So he was so impressed how much respect he was receiving from all the monks. So one pastime I remember that when he was young, his mother sent a letter to the monks because his father died early in young age, and his mother was about to leaving her body also, and she sent one letter to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami. Please send my son back. I want to speak with him because I'm very sick and I want to ask him something. So this message was given to Vinod Brahmachari. Oh, your mother is calling you, you have to go back. So and then the day after, Bhakti Siddhanta was asking, did Vinod already went to his mother's house? And the Brahmachari said, no, he is hiding in his room. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he went to the room of Vinod Brahmachari and he knocked on the door. Oh, Vinod, tell me why you not went to your mother, why you not following the order of your mother, she's calling you. And he fell at the feet of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. He said, oh Gurudev, it took me so many lives, millions of lives, I have been in material life. Now finally I came to your lotus feet. And I know if I go back to my mother, she will ask if I can take care of the managing of the house and everything, because she will leave her body soon. And how can I say no to my mother if she is about to die? So I don't want to go, I want to stay with you in the temple. So when Jagat Guru Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, when he heard this, how Vinod Brahmachari was ignoring the order of his mother, he was starting to cry. So what a disciple I have. He is so much dedicated to me. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he had so much affection for Vinod Brahmachari. So in this way, we heard also, we know this famous pastime. One time there was Parigram, Navadvip Parigram. And Bhaktisiddhanta's preaching was so strong, he was defeating all these smarter Brahmins. They are so proud, they had the conviction, oh, we are the only one who have the right to worship Thakurji, to read Shastra. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's preaching was, no, who is Brahman? By behaving you are Brahman. You cannot say only by birth you are Brahman. So he was disturbing the smarter Brahmins so much that they wanted to kill Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So one parigram, they went with the parigram party to the village of Navadvip, and all these Brahmins, they were organized and they were with stones and glass, they were on the roof, and they started to throw all the stones and glass to the parigram party. So what happened? Everybody was running away to save their lives, but there was only one brahmachari who was not thinking of his own protection. He was thinking of his guru, and that was Vinod Brahmachari. Immediately he was thinking, I have to protect my guru. So he took Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in the nearby house, and he said, oh Gurudev, please you take my white cloth, I take your cloth. So you can, without being seen, you can leave this house in white cloth and don't worry about me. So Bhaktisiddhanta, he followed what Vinod Brahmachari was saying, and in this way he looked after his guru. So this is Guru Nistha. He is giving his whole life, not thinking of his own protection. So to have Param Gurudev like this example what he has given, it is so much, so great. And also he is, what Maharaj said, he's strong like a thunderbolt, but also soft as a lotus. So one last pastime I remember, when he was guru, he had many disciples. And one of his disciples, Seva Brahmachari, he was responsible for the printing press. So one time he was working on a printing press and his thumb was becoming stuck in the printing press. So it was almost fall off. So he had so much pain. So and when Param Gurudev went to when he saw this happening, when he saw Seva Brahmachari, he lost almost his thumb. And he had so much pain, but Param Gurudev, he was crying to see this pain of Seva Brahmachari. And Seva Brahmachari was saying, Gurudev, I have the pain, but you are crying. But he said, yes, later when you have children, you also understand how this feels to see your children have this pain. So he had so much affection for his disciples, so he could not tolerate. Seva Brahmachari, he was thinking, my God, I will marry soon, or I will marry later, because Gurudev says later when you have children, you will understand. So, but later he became also guru, he became Bhaktivedanta Pramanda Swaminarayan, and then he understood the words of his guru. So, I will stop here. Srila Bhakti Prajnana Kesava Swaminarayan, Param Gurudev, Ki, Gaur.